Hey friends, welcome to part 61 of this playlist. If you are not yet subscribed, do so. It will help you onboard the Azure Cloud, Google Cloud, AWS Cloud certification journey. See, this is a networking related question which is about VPC flow logs. So they are saying that, hey guys, I will have a lot of logs, but these logs I will only access for 90 days. And then I may not access it frequently. I may still access it, but not frequently. Now you as an architect have to configure these logs. So out of these four, how would you do that? See, in this question, it is very important to understand what can be the different targets for VPC logs. There can be normally two key targets: CloudWatch logs, S3 bucket. See, CloudTrail cannot be a target. CloudTrail is not a target because it is not suitable for VPC flow logs. Why? Because CloudTrail is designed to log API calls made by users and etc. It's a very different purpose. It is used for auditing and activity tracking. It is not used for capturing the VPC logs. So C is wrong. Now when we are talking about Kinesis as a target, can we use it? Yes, we can use Kinesis as a target, but this functionality, the stream will retain log for 90 days only. This functionality is not available. Data streams inherently cannot retain logs for a specific period. This functionality it cannot achieve. So B is wrong. Now CloudWatch can be used as a target. Yes, buddy, you can use it as a target, but it is not ideal for long-term storage. You should always go for S3 buckets for the kind of requirement we have here. So we will strike this out. Our final answer here is option D, because we will put all the logs in S3 target. We will set a lifecycle policy. What is a lifecycle policy? The transition would happen automatically from the frequently accessed layer to different layers, from hot layer to cool layer to archive layer. The transition happens automatically. So it will automate that piece, and the moment it is older than 90 days, it will automatically transition to S3 infrequent access, which is cheaper and you can use it independently. So this is our final answer. See, in this question, you have an EC2 instance. You have EC2 instance, and this is in a private subnet. So this big box is a private subnet. What is EC2 instance? It is a compute service from AWS. If you want to install your applications, etc., you can create a EC2 instance and install it. Okay. So what is the problem? The subnet does not have outbound internet access. That means it cannot go from in to out. It cannot make that request. But EC2 instance needs the ability to download monthly security updates from outside vendor. So that means this is an outside vendor. From here, you want to access this and it wants to take the updates. Okay, what should you do? Your queen is sitting here. She cannot access the outside world, but there is one thing that she needs to access. What should you do? What solution as an architect, what you should do? See, whenever you think about this scenario, one queen is inside and you have to protect. Always think about NAT gateway, NAT gateway, NAT gateway, NAT gateway. So NAT gateway has this purpose. You can use NAT gateway so that instances in private subnet can connect services outside VPC, but external services cannot connect. So the outside guy wants to connect to the queen, they cannot talk. But if the queen wants to talk to the outside guy, she can talk. So that is why NAT gateway would be our final answer. But let us look at other options. See, when we talk about internet, so it is meant for resources in public subnet to talk, but we are already in private subnet. Our queen is in privacy in private subnet. She is not accessible publicly. So internet gateway will not work here because it is a different requirement. So A is wrong. When we talk about NAT instance, see, it has similar functionality like NAT gateway. It is always working with private subnet, and it can also initiate request from inside out to where? To internet or on-premises network. But from outside, the guy cannot talk to the queen. This is there. See, the problem with NAT instances, it requires manual setup, but NAT gateway is a fully managed service, so you don't have to do much things. Automatically handles the NAT functionality, no complex configuration required. But in that instance, ongoing maintenance, security updates, you have to do it. So as a solution architect, I would not choose something where I have to work my ass off. I would choose something which is automatic. So this is the right answer. Option B is the right answer. Then internet gateway we already established, boss. Internet gateway is for people who are already publicly accessible to others, like the king. King is publicly accessible, but the queen is not publicly accessible because she has no formal duties. So she is always in privacy. So option B would be our final answer. We will use NAT gateway and we will place it in a public subnet so that we can configure the private subnet and use NAT gateway as a default route. So this will protect. That means the queen can talk to the people outside. The people outside cannot talk to the queen. Simple. Let us look at this next question. You are a solution architect. Design. What you have to design? You have to design client case files. The files are core company assets. The number of files are growing over time. The files must simultaneously be accessible from multiple application servers on EC2 instance. You want to build redundancy, what should you use? That means this is a file storage question. Whenever this is not an object storage, boss. If it is not an object storage, I would not consider S3. So I will mark this obsolete. Now out of EBS and EFS, what should we do? See, EBS is, EC2 instance. So EBS is the storage of EC2 instance. If there is a EC2 instance, there will always be associated EBS block store there where EC2 instance can store the data. But here we are talking about multiple application servers can access it. If that is the case, then EBS we should not use it. We should use a very good functionality called EFS, because this is fully elastic file storage service, serverless. It can be accessed from anywhere, in your Windows Explorer world, just like you have your G drive or external drive which is on the network. Anybody can use it. It is similar to that. EFS is also similar to that. So in this case, option A, EFS would be our answer. But what is AWS backup? The AWS gives you backup as a service. You can centrally manage and automate data protection. You should always take backup of your databases, files, and etc. If that is something which you want to know, you use backup service. Backup is a backup solution. It is not a solution for multiple file storage. And for file storage, this is should not be used. So our final answer would be option A, EFS. If you're not yet subscribed, not sure what you're waiting for, please subscribe, become a member also. That way you can gain access to paid content which will help you clear what Azure, AWS and cloud certifications. This brings us to the end of C03 Solution Architect Associate part 61. We will see you in the next part. There are so many videos which are kept in the paid area. Cloud Kernel, Cloud Ninja members can access it. Cloud Kernel and Cloud Ninja members can access it.